Hey guys, Will's Garage here. This is part 2 of the heater core evaporator delete. Also going to be deleting the AC and secondary air pump, which I'm just going to specifically show in this part 2 video here. As you can see, I already removed the heater core and evaporator in the part 1 video, so check out that video if you're interested in seeing it. I'll leave a link here. And by the way, if you guys enjoy this content and find it helpful, please hit the like button so the algorithm can share it with more people. But anyway, let's start getting into it. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be removing the AC components. I already disconnected the AC lines against the firewall here when I was removing the heater core. I'm also going to be removing the compressor, the condenser, which is behind the radiator here. Since I'm going to have the radiator out, I'm going to go ahead and install the CSF radiator. I haven't had any serious overheating issues yet. But as you guys know, the stock radiator has plastic end tanks, which are prone to cracking. So I just want to do preventative maintenance and just replace the radiator anyways because of that. And by the way, you guys are probably wondering, how am I going to do the AC delete? So there is a pulley on the AC compressor. So once you remove that, there's going to be a giant gap where there's no place for the drive belt to go onto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this dummy pulley. It's going to mount right on, and the belt is just going to go onto this pulley. I got this bracket and pulley from R59 Automotive. There are other alternatives besides using a bracket. I did some research, and I think there are some other people who have used the power steering pump. They swapped it out from a different car. I think it was the S85 or something like that. Because of the orientation of how it rotates, they're able to swap that in and put on a different belt. I think that works better because that would reduce weight even more. It's because I don't know exactly how much this weighs yet. I'm gonna have to weigh it. Maybe it's about 3 or 4 pounds. But anyway, I decided to go with the bracket for simplicity's sake. And also, if you watch my part 1 video, I removed the secondary air pump already. I don't plan on putting it back in. The issue is, once you take it off, there's hoses behind there that connect to valves, 2 valves on each side in the back of the engine. Once you remove those valves, there's going to be opening holes in the back of the engine. So BMW Motorsports, for their GT4 car, they built these block-off plates, which are like, I think they discontinued them, so you can't buy them anymore. But I found that NRW Design makes block-off plates. So I bought these block-off plates from them, and they also come with OEM gaskets. These are apparently a complete pain to install because it's very difficult to reach the back. So, I mean, let's see how it goes. But first, let's take care of the AC delete. So I'm gonna have to remove the electric fan, and I'm gonna drain the radiator, pull it out, and get the condenser and the compressor out. Okay, so the stock radiator is out. This thing is really filthy. This is the thing I was looking at. Do you guys have any idea what this buildup is? Let me know in the comments section. Okay, so now that we have the radiator out, it's time to remove the AC condenser. I already disconnected the AC condenser connections right here. There's 2 6mm bolts, one for each line. There's another, I think it looks like a T25 Torx right here that's holding this connection together. Alright, so now's a good time to take a picture of the orientation of the belt, because depending on the production date of your car, the belt rounding might be different. There's a cap on here you're gonna have to pop off. 3 13mm bolts going this way that mount the compressor onto the car. I'm not going to go into detail on where they are and how to remove it since it's in a really tight spot. But Steven from R59 Automotive made a really great video on how to remove the compressor, and he's also the person again who made this bracket. I'm gonna leave a link to his video in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to see in detail on how to remove the compressor and how to install this dummy bracket. Okay, I got the compressor out, and again here's the bracket that's going to go in. I'm going to weigh each of them because I'm just curious how much it weighs. Alright, here's the stock compressor. So about almost 4.9 pounds. This thing is just right under 1 pound. But again, it's not only the compressor that I removed all the AC lines and the condenser as well, which I'll weigh later. Alright guys, so I have the bracket installed and everything went on perfectly. Got the radiator installed as well as the fan. Nice thing about removing the condenser is that you're going to have direct airflow straight to the radiator now, because the condenser used to sit right in front of the radiator. So hopefully that provides a little bit more cooling. I already have the secondary air pump removed. I'm going to delete that completely. I currently have the Epic Motorsports tune, and I contacted Randy and he told me that the secondary air pump has already been disabled in that tune, so whether or not you leave it on or remove it, it doesn't affect anything at all. Alright, so I ended up moving the entire harness that runs down the center of the engine to a side to make room. As you guys know, I recently replaced the throttle actuators, so that video covers a lot of the connectors that you have to disconnect to move this harness out of the way. So check out the video if you want to see the details on that. Had I known that I would delete the secondary air pump, I would have done it all at the same time, but I had no plans on doing this until now. And by the way, you're going to have to disconnect, at least on the driver's side, you have to disconnect all the injector electrical connections as well as the coil connections and run the wires out in order to pull it to the side. You also need to open up the fuse box and unlatch the rubber grommets here so that it gives enough of slack to move it to a side. And I still don't see how I'm going to be able to reach this passenger side valve, but we'll get to that later. As for the driver's side here, with the wiring out of the way, there's a lot more room. Still very tight. And again, since I have the AC hoses and the heater hose out of the way now, It definitely gives me a lot more room. But you can clearly see how the hosing is connected, where it splits down the middle right here. As you can see it right here, that hose goes down to the valve on the passenger side. This hose goes down to the driver's side here, which I already disconnected from the valve. Okay, so this is the valve that came off the driver's side. So this is where the plastic hose connects onto the valve. And this surface here is what mounts to the back of the engine. The hole right here mounts to the heat shield. So you want to remove this screw from the heat shield first. It looks like this. This one right here comes out of this hole. And then you have these two nuts that go into the valve. So there's a stud that comes out from the back of the engine, and this nut goes onto it. And this bottom one is the one that's really difficult to get to because it's in this position right here, and you can't get your hand around this way. The only way is to get a socket through. And this is the tool that I used. By the way, if you guys don't have this tool, I really recommend you guys pick this up. It's low profile. It has a 1/4 inch ratcheting side and a 3/8 ratcheting side. I got this from Harbor Freight, and this fit through, but there's a heat shield that sits along the firewall right here that kind of gets in the way, so you have to go in there with a screwdriver and bend that heat shield back so that this fits through, and you're gonna have just barely enough clearance to fit this ratchet through, even though it's low profile. And you're gonna need a long socket, because with a shorter socket, it's not gonna be long enough to reach the nut. So that once you break it open, the other issue you're gonna have next is that you're not gonna be able to ratchet, because the nut's gonna be loose and there's no tension for you to ratchet. So you're gonna have to use some kind of creative method, like putting a piece of tape on a screwdriver to hold the socket while you ratchet. This was a really painful part. So I did record a clip on the endoscope that I was using. So towards the end, where I got the nut far out enough, I was able to reach in with my hand and back it out. But for my situation, again, I removed all the heater hose and the AC hose right here, so I had a decent amount of room. I just don't understand how it's possible to do it with the heater hose or AC hose in the way, but people have done it before, so it's possible. All right, so I got the valve on the passenger side removed. Here it is. This one was a lot easier to remove than the driver's side. This one came out, I got this out within like 10 minutes or so. You're not gonna be able to see the bolts if you have the AC lines running through here. Since I removed AC lines, I was able to access the valve by going through the side of the engine. But if you don't have AC lines going through there, you're probably gonna have to access straight from the top. And if you're doing it through there, you're either gonna have to use an endoscope or just feel that out with your fingers. So all I gotta do now is remove the old gasket and clean off the residue on the engine side, and then install the new NRW plates. Okay, so here's the pump and everything related to it. It weighs a total of about 4 pounds. So I don't think it's really worth going through all the trouble to remove this for 4 pounds. Again, it's extremely difficult. But if you were to have the AC lines out, then you might as well just do it. Alright, so I got all the engine compartment pieces back together. Forgot to mention, this intake hose right here has a hole for the secondary air pump hose that normally runs down right here. But since we deleted it, I'm going to fill in the gap with this part right here. It's a blind plug. It's an OEM part, and here's the part number if you guys are interested. Here's what it looks like. So it just snaps right on. Alright, so that's it for part 2 of the AC delete and heater cord delete. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be installing the carbon fiber dash on the interior next. I already started cleaning out the wiring and stuff. So stay tuned for more. Peace.